So Dame recently did an interview with the Club 520 podcast, Jeff Teague's podcast, and it's been getting a lot of buzz on social media. And I saw some comments that said he sounded like he was a bit entitled. So I wanted to actually get the full context. My first time actually hearing it for myself. I'm gonna play it and listen to it with you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna listen to it and then we'll get back into it.
I got PTSD from Clay, but the way you can shoot off the dribble though, I put that in like you and Steph in a different realm with that
that's
shit.
hard to do.
It's a harder shot. They more contested.
Yeah.
People guarding you harder. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's different, bro.
Hell yeah,
Bro,
shit,
they
you
definitely don't. They definitely don't talk about it. They act like I don't be doing what I've been doing. Like this will be my 13th season.
You've been going crazy for a long
time.
Still killing. Nah, you been cold.
Crazy.
It's been a long time.
That's what we want to hear. Go crazy.
Cause I told you
It's been
before.
a long time, bro.
For real.
Like I'm just saying, it's like my time in the league. When I think about like how many people have been very good, like over that time, and then it's been more people very good, and more people very good for a couple years. Like it ain't been that many people that been here the whole time. Like since I've been in the league, that just been doing it like over and over and over. But I think people just get bored with consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't loud, but like, shit, I've been doing it that long and winning. Like, it ain't like I've been doing it and I'm playing for a team that just never played in the playoffs. Like,
Yeah.
the
Portland.
season before last, bro, I averaged almost 33 a game, bro.
Oh no, I know.
Yeah.
Like,
It's hard to average a dub in the league for a decade, bro.
it's crazy. I've been over 25 for damn near 8-9 years.
With another, I gotta stop cussing, but another person.
Okay. So I'm not going to play the whole entire interview for you guys. If you want to watch it, go ahead, check out Club 520 podcast. It's actually a pretty dope podcast if you don't watch it already or you don't know anything about it or you haven't watched an episode. But this is interesting though. I don't see where he's feeling entitled. But I do get that he feels like he should get the credit that he deserves because he's not. He doesn't. When you hear about shooters, what I hear all the time is Steph Curry. I hear about Clay in that same light. Maybe Trey Young, very, 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 very rarely. But I don't really hear about Dame. I don't. And I always wonder why that is. But like I said, and you don't really hear about Trey that often. So I'm not saying that they say him often. I'm just saying I've heard him mentioned in those conversations. But I don't hear Dame mention those conversations. And if I'm being honest, I think it has to do with the fact that he does not have a championship yet. I feel like where we live at in this day and era, I feel like especially USA, like if our team didn't win the gold, we would not be still celebrating them from winning silver or bronze. We would be like, how the hell did they lose that? They were the Avengers team. We got the best players from around the world going over there and so on and so forth. But like other countries still celebrate their people, whether they come home with gold or bronze, or even just for simply getting there to compete in the first place. It's not like that over here. And I feel like the only way that Dame is going to be mentioned in those conversations is if and when he gets a championship. That's really it. I think that's what it all boils down to it. When people don't really care about winning, if you get to the playoffs in the first round, I don't think he's ever been past the first round in the playoffs. I believe he got swept a few times when he was in Portland, of course, because he spent most of his career there, going to his second season with Milwaukee Bucks. But they haven't made it past the first round, or he hasn't. And if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, please. I don't believe he has. So I feel like just because you make to the playoffs is one thing, but if you don't get past the first round, you get swept in any round of the playoffs, people are only going to focus on that part. They're not going to celebrate the fact that you got to the playoffs of several times in your career. If you get to the playoffs and it does not result in winning, that's all that people care about. It's all we care about as Americans. We don't care. We don't champion you on for getting there. No A for effort, so to speak. And it's really unfortunate though when you play at a high level for so long, people do kind of get bored with it, I feel like. And because he's not loud, he's not flashy, he has the whole like Dame time he hits the rest. It is pretty dope to watch, especially in real time in a close game. But there's just something about players who are still really good, but they're not flashy. They're not out there with it. You know what I mean? Like we all like the Joker, but some people don't consider him a superstar because his personality is not a superstar personality. Like he does what he does, but when you watch him play, you don't get excited from watching him play. Where you see John Morant flying through the Ant-Man, you know, when he plays, you know, he just brings this level of excitement to it. And I think it has to do with his personality. Like Dame seems to be, I don't know him obviously. He seems to be very laid back though. He's very chill, you know, so that also reflects his style of play. He's still an elite shooter, but you know, it's not, you don't get the same vibe from him playing that you do um you know, someone like I said, you know, an Ant-Man. You know, Giannis is big, you know, so when he comes through, you know, when he's finishing around the rim with all that power, you know, you're like, oh, you know what I mean? It's just something about it. But ultimately, I feel like the narrative will change for him and he'll be mentioned in those rooms when he gets a championship, not before that. What do you guys think? Let me know in those comments. I will see you in the next video.